Alright. Okay, we just finished a session of Total War Warhammer 3, and now it is time to get in some Pathfinder time. What is our current objective? Oh, that's right, the Shrine of Lamashtu. That's right, we ran down here so I would see that, and I would not forget that I need to go here and do a thing. There's people here worshiping monsters and turning people into monsters. Alright. Yeah, my next X-Pack for summer is adding spellmaking mechanic, like making heal, arrow rain, or jump pack wards to shoot a poison arrow, etc. Could be cool. Could be cool. Okay. I don't know if a fight's gonna break out here. So let's do the usual. Armor buff, mutagen, mutagen, heroism, heroism, hurricane bow, aspect of the falcon, see invisibility. Oh, I guess we haven't rested recently. I don't have a delayed poison. Okay. Ooh. I hope that's not a problem. Do I have another one of those ready to go? I don't. Hopefully nothing poisons us. Seeing you, Keston nods. Under his coat, you notice a suit of armor. A sword hangs at his belt. The guard is ready to fight. I'm happy to see you, my Baron. While we were waiting for you, I've had enough time to choose a good place for the ambush. I received your letter and came as soon as I could. Thank you, Your Grace. I've decided you'd like to see this place with your own eyes. Lamashtu Shrine is on the other side of the hill. I suggest we set ambush right here. The visibility is good, so we can watch the cultists unannounced and choose the right moment to strike. If you wish, you can examine the location. What do we know about Lamashtu? Keston frowns. Not much, Your Grace, but I've heard some things. Goblins, kobolds, and other wild beasts worship her. She helps them to breed, protects their young. As for people, the blessings of Lamashtu is too dangerous for them. A woman can give birth to something so terrible that the villagers might decide to drive a mother and child out of the village or worse. You can go down and take a look at the shrine. The scouts who have been watching the cultists told me about hideous rituals that were performed there. The cultists disfigure and mutilate themselves, shriek like demons, and copulate in the mud. He frowns in disgust. I just can't imagine who in the right mind, except for goblins, would ask Lamashtu for help and agree to be part of this abomination. Are we ready for the ambush? He shakes his head. Not today. Come back later, and we'll get them when they least expect us. Alright, wait for me here. Not today. That's right. The quest said to come here on a certain day. South capital. God, dang it. Okay, so I think it was in the, what the heck? Oh, that was weird. I was like, where's my inventory? It was because I had the cat selected. Okay, one sec. Ascend, heavy heart. Rival, give need strength, windows, resources, misfortune. The beginning of each week. The beginning of each week. Okay. So, zone back out. And we'll rest, and then we've got to jump ahead on time. Way behind on the story. Gonna put it on mute in the background. Night all. Good night, Gorniar. I don't know what day of the week it is right now. And I can't access the kingdom management screen, which allows me to jump ahead on time from here. Meet Keston near the shrine of Lamashtu on Moon Day, the first day of a week. You visited on Oath Day. What the day is Moon Day? I don't know the Pathfinder days of the week. It's Monday. Yeah, but what was Oath Day? What day is it now? What year is it? Hold on. Quick save. Wiki time. Oh my god. Oh, it says right there, on Moon Day, the first day of a week. Yeah, but what? How do I just advance time? Oh, I think I can do multiple days. What is that? Ability scores restored. Minimum resting time 1 day. Both days Thursday. So the 24th was Thursday, so 25th is Friday, 26th is Saturday, 27th, Sunday's the 28th. So I need to be here on the 28th. So I need to rest for 4 days. So I just need to camp out for 4 days. So 1, 2... So on the 28th. I need to be there on the 28th. I hope I'm doing this correctly. The thing is, if this was like, you know, Elder Scrolls games, you can just hit like T and then just rest until that day. This would be fine. But the way this game is set up, it's kind of a pain the way they did this. It's the 27th. I need 1 more day.
Am I the only one who finds it strange that Tristian can't tell us anything about life in Kellish, on top of the fact that he does not appear to be of native stock?
Native stock.
Well, he lived in a monastery. That's why he never saw anything. And he mentioned that his parents weren't from around there, hence his appearance.
Sounds kind of racist, Jubilos. Jubilos will just be like, it was. Alright. Let's try this again. Alright, quick save. Okay. Alright. The let's get those cultists button is there now. How dare the cultists not be here ready and waiting every time I come here?
Here's the lavish dining, the festivals. This place barely merits a footnote in my compendium.
Don't know the
Okay. What are you guys doing? Stop! Alright, I'm ready. Let's go. Look, your grace, the cultist. Come to me, Lamashtu's children. Today we praise our great mother who imbued Adela's cub with life. Praise the mother of beasts. Glorious day. We are here, Lamashtu. Lamashtu favors us. She blessed the pack with the new cub, a beautiful female cub marked by the goddess' sacred touch. Yes, at last. Praise the sacred divine. She is Lamashtu's mark. I've seen the cub. The goddess took cub mother's life as payment. What a worthless female she was, only able to bear a single cub. Wait, what? Holy crap. This got dark. They were just like yay babies up until that point. Praise the mother of monsters, the life giver. Attach yourselves to the waters of Lamashtu. Open up your veins and embellish your bodies with the scar. Yo, I am reading as fast as I can. I shall carve her image on my chest. Glory to the mother of monsters. Now's the best time to surprise them. So what you're saying is don't use the sneak button at all and just charge in screaming.
Not that.
Got it.
I need inspiration.
Curses upon you. Lamashtu will avenge her children. There's a chat log. Yeah, but my immersion is just ruined. One escaped. We need to catch him, otherwise the altar will soon appear somewhere else. What are you waiting for? He'll escape. I'm investigating. Statue portrays Mother of Monsters, a pregnant woman with three-eyed jackal head and feathered wings. The triumph over the wicked Lamashtu cultists proved incomplete. Some villain or villainess had slipped away under the slipped away, not stripped, of cover of darkness and into a narrow gorge amongst the rocks. Without a second thought, our brave Baron, loyal Keston, and their comrade-in-arms rushed after the fleeing figure. The figure, clad in black, was barely visible in the dark. The villain had gotten ahead of us. At the last moment, the Baron noticed their prey had turned aside and disappeared behind the rocks. Attempt of mobility. After they decided to take a shortcut to catch the cultists by surprise, the party started climbing up the stone ridge. Succeeded at mobility check. Climbing in the darkness is a difficult task. It's not a joke when you try to catch a stable rock and hear the small stones crumble under your feet. Several times, it seemed our heroes were out of luck, but their stubbornness and the thought of a runaway cultist gloating about eluding them gave them strength. Moments later, we were at the top. Soon our heroes found themselves at the top, and just in time. The cultist, barely visible in the darkness, was threading his way through the gorge directly beneath them. It seemed the cultist was so focused on finding his footing, he didn't notice his pursuers perched above him, giving the Baron a chance to strike. What will our heroes do next? Look at Lindsay. She's like, I'm gonna bash him with my guitar. Let's see. Trigger an avalanche over the runaway. Dexterity. Send the swiftest and most agile ahead down the slope in the hopes of cutting the runaway off. Akin. Failed dex, succeeded perception. What was the roll? He rolled a 7. Akundayo appeared from the darkness like a spirit. The runaway clearly hadn't been expecting that. Akundayo barely had time to react when the cultist burst into a sprint. Darkness failed to cover the peculiar way the runaway walked. The roped figure was limping badly, dragging the right leg. Despite that, the cultist vanished in the darkness without a trace. So the guy's a limp, but he outran us. The party followed to the edge of the plateau where the flatlands began. As our brave heroes reached the edge of the plateau, the vastness of the Camelands opened up before them, an ocean of high grass as far as anyone could see. A beautiful sight, but finding our quarry in this green sea would prove impossible. With our heads down and hopes lost, we descended to where a small streamlet flowed amongst the stones, and then, there before us, good fortune. In his haste, our villain had run through the high grass, leaving a trail for all to see. The party immediately set off, driven by a single desire to capture the criminal who dared escape his punishment of the Baron and had led us on this unwelcome chase. We moved as swiftly as we could, but even the ground seemed to fight us. Rock gave way to mud which grew deeper as we marched on and seemed to grab at our boots. Even the wind began to rise, lashing at our cloaks, and a foul scent filled the air, sure signs that we were heading towards the gnarl marches. Soaking wet and exhausted. Dude, back when we saw that guy from the ridge, I wish there was an option to have Ekon shoot him in the head. Like, I feel like he could have taken the shot. Soaking wet and exhausted, our heroes came upon a cabin at the edge of a swamp. According to Keston, it was a hunter's lodge owned by Dumra, a hunter who lived there alone and was known for her great temper and little patience. It also looked as if it might have been a place where the cultists would seek shelter. It was unlikely the runaway would brave the depths of the gnarl marches in the middle of the night. So the Baron pushed open the door and stepped inside, letting a touch of the cool night air in.
Milk, juice, spiders, Dr. Pepper.
Spiders?
Spiders it is then.
No, that wasn't. But she was already pouring him a brimming glass of spiders.
Hi, Nex. Alright, Keston. The lodge is lit with only a few candles on the tables and the counter. Shadows lie thick around the room. A number of people are here. A well-dressed couple at one of the tables, a girl in simple dress dozes near the opposite wall, and at the counter is an untidy dwarf. She's wiping the mugs and glaring at you. From the half-open kitchen door, you hear the clanging of pans upon metal, presumably a stove. Keston looks around with a heavy gaze. Things have gone from bad to worse. We must find the cultists before they flee, and we have no idea what they look like. The people in the lodge look surprised and concerned. Each seem to recognize you and ask themselves, what is the ruler of these lands doing here at such a late hour, flanked by armed guards? Keston's hand falls to his weapon. Your Grace, I'm ready to make an arrest, but if you wish to investigate further before making a decision, I'll make sure no one leaves the lodge until you give the order. I'd like to look around and speak with these people. Maybe I'll find something. As you command, Your Grace. No one will leave this house, I'll make sure of that. Keston looks around the hall once again. My advice, take the room keys. Their personal belongings speak their owner's intent, often more than their masters would like. And now it's a mystery. I like how Keston moved away from the guard after saying he won't let anyone leave. What? Olika. A young woman stands before you wearing a plain dress and a hooded cloak. Her belly is swollen, she's pregnant, and her time is near. Your Grace, it is an honor. The woman bows, then stares at you with shining eyes. I thought I'd never be able to thank you in person for your kindness, but gods were kind to me. You must have already forgotten, but it was you who discovered my husband's body. A traitor, died on one of his trips. You found a brooch and a letter in his body and had it sent to me. She touches a turquoise brooch pinned to her dress. The brooch is familiar to you. You made it possible that the last gift from my husband had found its way home. There's not enough words in the world for how grateful I am. What are you doing here? I'm taking what rest I can after a long day on the road, Your Grace. I'm a widow. She stopped short. I've barely had 2 seasons to mourn my husband, and he left me with a child. And in difficult times like these, I've got a sister in Gralton. God's bless her, she's agreed to give me a shelter in her house. So I went there. There was nowhere else to go. A memory of Olika's letter emerges from the depths of your mind. She mentioned her son in that letter, but now there's no child by her mother. It's odd that Olika, who had been planning to stay at Gralton, didn't bring her son with her. Are you planning to stay in Gralton? She hesitates. I don't know yet, she answers, but if things turn out well, why not? It was a long journey for you. I've a little coin, Your Grace, so I've had to beg traders on the road to ride in their carts. I spent nights anywhere I have to. This place is at least warm and dry. And where are you from? Galt, Your Grace. I'm from a tiny village near the Tract. Guess no one here has ever heard of that place. You recall the location of Galt and Gralton. As far as you know, stolen lands lay aside from the places Olika had named. Let's talk about something else. I should go. I'm not going to ask for a key to her room right now, because it'd be really weird with how this conversation's gone so far. Alright. What is this? The fire crackles, bringing comfort to weary travelers. There's Aristil's holy symbol above the fireplace. The god of the hunt and family ties protects this place. We heard there was someone banging in the kitchen. Steal all the milk. The table is piled with dirty dishes and leftover cold food. Kitchen stove. Something is burning inside the stove. It was thrown in the fire not long ago. Can we pull it out? The kitchen servant is busy grinding herbs within a mortar. She's wearing a dress soiled with dark stains, and her hair is knotted in a bun with a few stray hairs poking free. Succeeded at stealth. The woman doesn't appear to notice you as she makes her way to the stove. You notice she's limping badly on her right leg. Before you can speak, she turns, sees you, and freezes. Who are you? Name's Tsana. I cook for Tedrums, nobles from Restov. She wipes her hands with her apron. What will it be? Why are they here, you think? None of my business. Might be they have things to do, but I wouldn't know it. I mend, I cook, and I serve when needed. What can you tell me about your masters? She frowns. No quicker road to trouble, talking about masters, that is. She glances at your clothes and sighs. How would you like it if your servants were all a gossip about you? They pay regular, not stingy with their coin. They don't yell much, so I count myself fortunate. I do. Alright. We're looking for a criminal who may have fled this way. Have you seen anyone suspicious? What can be seen here, you say, she snorts. Ask Dumra. She runs the house, she does. Anyone come into the kitchen recently? Only Dumra came, she frowns, no doubt checking to see if I'm not palming the silver. As if there's anything worth stealing in here, so there's not. The hostess of the lodge doesn't mind you cooking at her kitchen? As if she came here often herself, she throws up her hands. Filth piled in corners, the floor sandaled deep in dirt. Had to work my fingers to the bone to clean the kitchen before I could start a proper meal in this. She curls her lip. This cow shed. What are you cooking? She throws a glance at the stove. That there's for tomorrow. She hesitates. Tomorrow's midday meal it is. Peek in the pot. You take the lid off the pot. Some brew boils inside. It looks strange and smells odd. You lean over, smell the stew, and immediately flinch. The acrid stink of vinegar feels like a punch to the face. Besides, you can smell some strange spice, which would be appropriate for a dessert, but not in a first course for dinner. Okay, so this is either exotic cooking, or she's not actually a cook. I won't trouble you any longer. I need the key to your room. My room? She raises an eyebrow. I don't have a room here except the kitchen. Bed's a bench. Still, warm enough, though. Alright. Okay. Perception. The back door was used recently. Okay.
How much longer?
It's just British food. Oh, God. Alright, well, right now she's the most fishy person. Shelf contains a number of bottles of faded labels. Seems they've seen better days. Dumra. I'm looking for someone. Can you help me? She gives you a sullen glance. It seems she's not too happy to talk with you, but she doesn't dare refuse it openly. A cultist of Lamashtu is hiding in your lodge. I have to find them. She stares at you for a moment, then she utters a hoarse chuckle. One of Lamashtu's own? That's quite a story you've spun, Your Grace. Next you'll tell me I'm holding Rovagug down in the cellar. And what's your proof that I hide cultists? Several hours' walk from your lodge is a shrine of Lamashtu. Baron, enough. The dwarf clasps her hands. Here in the stolen lands, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting some goblin's nest or cursed ruins or a shrine of something foul. Your lodge is the only house in the neighborhood. And, she lifts her chin, is it a bad thing to provide shelter for those who are lost? There are footprints leading to your lodge. So what? Folk come here every day, both from the flatlands and the swamps. Alright, I'm not going to argue with you. She crosses her arms and lifts her chin. Do you know who your guests are? Why should I? She tilts her head back, her eyes appraising you. I'm not their ward. They come, they pay for a bed, they keep quiet. Why would I care who they are? A crime has happened, Dumra. I need your help to find the culprit. So what did this cultist do wrong? Her voice becomes thick, corners of her mouth curve down. Shot a deer in someone's lands, and now the criminal has to run away as if she was an animal herself? Whatever it is, leave me out of it. Do you remember when they came to your lodge, at least? Her eyes closed, trying to recall. I went to check on my traps, so people arrived when I was far away. So I can't tell you for sure, Your Grace. Do you let everyone into your house? She turns red. What are you hinting at, huh? Your guest, Dumra. Do you allow anyone who asks to spend a night here? She blinks several times, pondering your words. Of course, everyone. What else am I expected to do? Pick who gets a warm spot near the fire and who gets left out in the rain? I've let in you and your thugs, though you've put quite a terror on my guests. Alright, let's go back. How many people are here in the lodge except for you? Watch yourself. There are 3 of them all sitting over there. She nods toward her guest. That one in the kitchen, guessing she's a servant to those 2 noble folk. They look to be carrying all the coin. I have to go. Alright, I'm not going to ask her for a key to the room. Alright, so there's 2 people here. Una? A bearded middle-aged man stands before you. He wears a massive gold chain on his neck. The woman beside him gives a polite smile and a nod as you approach. Greetings, Baron. The man's voice is so low as to rumble. Let me introduce myself. Cabron Tedrim from Restov. He nods to the woman beside him. And this is my wife, Una Tedrim. We've come to your lands to hunt, yet I admit we did not expect to meet you in person. To what do we owe this honor? The woman in the kitchen. Your cook? He nods quickly. Yes, we just can't imagine our lives without Sana. Una coughs delicately. My constitution demands a unique diet. She studies you closely. A private matter, if you don't mind. Okay, that could explain the terrible cooking smell in there. You recognize me at once. Do I know you? I doubt it, but news about developments within the stolen lands and your role in them has traveled far, Muck. It is a well-known name beyond our borders. He gives a polite bow. A crime has taken place nearby. The one responsible may be hiding in this house. Have you seen anything suspicious? They exchange glances. I'm afraid, Your Grace. Cabron looks downcast. We won't be able to help you. Do you recall who came to the lodge in the last hour? He casts a look behind you. On second thought, this young woman, I didn't notice exactly when she entered the room. He turns to his wife. My dear, perhaps you recall? What was the name our hostess used when addressing her? Olika, sweetheart. Una shrugs faintly. I cannot recall if I saw her at the start of the evening. Do you know the hostess of the lodge? No, I don't. He rubs his brow, and I must say, she doesn't look forward to meeting new people either. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Cabron looks around the hall. We're not accustomed to such company, Baron. Besides, from the Restov legalist point of view, every person in this room is suspicious. Let's go back to other questions. Tell me about yourself. I'm a legalist, Baron. He hooks his thumbs into his embroidered belt. My job is to ensure Restov's laws are upheld. My wife is a keeper of the hearth and my loyal companion in prolonged journeys. Una nods without a word, her gaze fixed on you. Bluff. Oh yes, of course! Cabron Tedrim. I've heard about you and your famous legal cases. Succeeded. Cabron freezes as if someone just put a knife to his throat. Is that so? He tries to smile, but his eyes are fearful. I did doubt, Baron, that anything you've heard concerned me. My family name is a common one. I have so many relatives. I know not a quarter of them. He clears his throat. Well, with a difficult job like yours, it's impossible to get by without some divine support. Who do you address your prayers to? Why, to Abadar, of course. Divine patron of law and lawyers. Cabron, the lawyers have their own god? Cabron looks at you intently. Surely you're aware of Abadar, are you not? You must be. No matter. A legalist, so you're a judge. Cabron smiles slightly. Not exactly. I work as a legal defendant in cases when a suspect's innocence must be proven. And I admit I have moderate success in this field. He seems about to elaborate and then stops. No need to bother you with tedious tales from the courts. Una Tedrum raises her head. We've decided a trip was in order. My husband worked long hours during the last several months, so he felt a journey would be good for us. I bet this guy has nothing to do with my current issue, and he's running because, like, some crook he defended in court is after him or something. Let's go back to other questions. You're from Bravoy? You see, I've heard the wildlife here are excellent sport, so I decided to see for myself. Sort truth from rumor, you understand. Fortunately, my fair wife was in favor of the trip, so here we are. Do you use snares or a bow? Bow. What kind of prey do you hunt? Cougars. Yeah, me too. He swallows again as if fighting to take a breath. Magnificent predators, worthy prey for a worthy hunter. He gives an awkward smile. Oh, I hope you enjoy your hunting. Let's change the topic. Yes. Odd place to rest for the night. Why, Baron, Una gives a false smile. We adore this charming dwelling. She glances around the dim hall. Her smile remains, but you notice she raises an eyebrow at her surroundings as if in judgment. I need a key to your room. Despite Una's cool expression, you notice a bead of sweat running down her temple. As she spots your glance, her lips tighten. Cabron takes a key from his purse and hands it to you. As you wish, Baron. I'll be back.
Not that I care.
You know, the people I would least suspect is the pair. Because we were chasing one person, and there was one in the kitchen and one there. So the pair is the one I suspect the least. So it would be quite the curveball if that's what it was.
Anything else?
Lindsay picks the lock. That's not it. Unlocks. Is that it? Tedrum's chest? This bag contains Tedrum's clothes and personal belongings. There are no hunting bows, arrows, snares, nor any other sign of the Tedrons having any hunting on their mind.
Applause, please.
Thanks for the gold.
Will
That's for
this
lying to me.
ever end?
A pile of dirty clothes covers snares. There are quite a few hunting bows and quivers with arrows. I think this is the owner of the lodge's room. The sheets on this bed look dirty. The old bed covers sewed together from the number of patches. Receipts, shopping lists, and other papers pile over Dumra's table. Okay, everything there seems to be on the up and up. I think there was a perception failed on that chest. Are you telling me you perceived what they could not? You think very highly of yourself.
Applause, please.
Masterwork Falcata, padded armor +2.
Not that I care.
Okay, so then this room must belong to the pregnant lady. Or the
Anything
pregnant
else?
lady. Maybe she's the mother of monsters. This chest contains modest clothing, packed leftover food, a purse with herbs, and other personal belongings. Why is the dog just vibing? There we go. The table holds a pile of letters crossed with a ribbon. These are the letters from Olika's deceased husband. It seems they corresponded often.
Applause, please.
I just stole money from a poor widow.
Well, it's
The mattress
done
covers
now.
blood-stained cloth and bandages. Blood-stained cloth. Okay. I think she's like 6 months pregnant. Blood-stained cloth. Does she have
Follow
a...
me.
She wasn't injured that I
don't.
saw. It's also possible that that's not really Olika. Someone else is, like, pretending to be her. Alright, let's confront these guys first. I've been to your room and I found no hunting weapons. Cabron becomes white as a sheet. You see, well... He licks his lips, which are now trembling slightly. Una, who is watching her husband closely, touches his shoulder lightly. I beg your pardon, Baron. She leans into Cabron and whispers something in his ear. Succeeded at perception. You barely hear Una's hiss. Get a hold of yourself, you fool. You'll ruin everything. These words seem to have the desired effect. Cabron suddenly straightens and smiles. Truth be told, it's a rather embarrassing matter. He gives a hollow chuckle. I proved a much worse hunter than I thought. Just imagine, I managed to snap not one, not two, but 3 bowstrings in a day. Infuriated, I broke my bow across my knee. It shames me to even speak of it. Una smiles gently and looks aside. There's nothing else I can say. I'll come back.
How much
Oh, like,
longer, I wonder?
I'm looking for a cultist of a dark goddess. Can you help me? Cultist? That's horrible. How can I help you? Have you seen anything suspicious tonight? No, I don't think so. Do you know anyone in the hall? First time I've seen these people was when I'd stepped over the threshold of this lodge. Do you know who came to the lodge last? She frowns.